Howdy, everybody, and welcome into this Thursday's edition of the Draft Scratch League recap and preview. We've got 2 weeks left. We're bowling a really tough team tonight and then another pretty tough team tomorrow.
Greetings and salutations. Apologies for my tardiness.
Yep, that's all right. Just got her started.
Fantastic. Hey, what's up, Nico?
Gave him the openings.
Awesome. Yeah, we are. Oh, sorry, I gotta share my screen. Thought I had that button already. Nope, not that one. This one.
Yeah, so
there we go.
After last week, we were in good shape, and
we were in good shape, and now we're in better shape.
Yeah, so far the plan is going according to plan. It was, with 5 weeks to go, we thought, okay, if we can get 100 points out of these last 5 weeks, with just average 20 points a week, which is, where you really want to be. I mean, 20 has always been the number for me. If you get 20 every week, you're going to be in good shape.
Yeah, exactly.
And we've gotten, in the last 3 weeks, 67, 68, 70, something
60,
like that.
67. It was 24, okay. 21, and 22. Yeah.
I think we're going to need a few extra of those. We're going to need those extra 7 tonight.
Yeah. Which, by the way, we're back to averaging 228.3 as a team for the last 3 weeks. So I think that's pretty good.
Sweet.
Yeah.
Sweet.
But yeah, so, like Luke said, was, kind of looking at the schedule with 5 weeks to go was, I think we were down in 11th-ish at that point or something like that. And we're kind of sitting here looking at it like, this could go badly, but if we get a good whack of points, this, take like 60% of our points the last 5 weeks, then we should be able to kind of, make a little bit of a run at it. And so this is, we're looking right now at standings after week 31. Not week 32. And, sitting here in 9th, we're, 13 out of 4th, 40 out of the lead. Took 22 against Zach's team. Got a little bit of revenge on them for the first half. And that got us all the way up to 6th, where we closed a little bit on first place, but really I'm regarding first and second as almost uncatchable at this point.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah. But here's the thing. We bowled Trevor's team this week, and if we take like 25, 27, we basically catch them. So if we can and then we have Russ's team, which is right below us in the standings for week 34. So realistically, sure, it's going to be a little tough. Rob's team and Jay's team both have what I would classify as pretty hittable matchups for them to end the year.
Mm-hmm.
Trevor's got us, obviously. We have Russ in week 34. Tennyson has a middle of the road schedule, I'd say. And then Crouch. Who does Crouch have? 18. He's got Bo and Danny. Which, if I was a betting man, I'd say Crouch probably get 35 to 40 out of those matches.
Yeah.
So but I mean the log jam right in here is just absolutely crazy. 261 is in 4th, 254 is in 10th.
Yeah.
And
that could easily be made up in a week.
Oh, dude. Yeah, that's like 2 games and you can make that up if you have a couple good ones.
Mm-hmm.
So it's very much a case at this point of the best way I can think to describe it is, even though we technically don't completely, it really does feel like we just control our own destiny with these last 2 weeks. And so that's, I think it's funny. I was actually talking with another guy in the Discord server about this on the little recap show we're doing for our virtual league that I run there. And it's like, there are some weeks where you are purposely trying to go out and take all of your individual points.
Mm-hmm.
And then there are some weeks where you just kind of say to heck with it on the individual points and you're just playing for the team game and almost ignoring your head-to-head matchup, or like if you are paying attention to it as a secondary consideration and not a primary thing.
Yeah, we're looking at the team game, and this is the week that we've got to get.
If we take 5 here, I don't think we can finish better than like 5th. If we take 25 here, 3rd is in the cards.
Yeah,
that's kind of what this comes down to, realistically speaking.
Yeah, we just have to figure out a way to get 20 tonight, and
yeah.
I don't know. Brent has been bowling well. He had 560 or 570 after 2 a couple weeks ago.
Yeah. Adam's been bowling pretty well too.
Yeah, they just, and I think this is really the thing. Is it what you sent me earlier? It kind of comes down to the matchup of me and Eric.
Yeah,
I think because Trevor's been really hot and cold this year. Eric has been very consistently good for the last. I don't know. It took him a couple months to figure Royal Crest out or to get comfortable there, but now that he knows what he's doing, he's been putting up crazy numbers for the entire. I mean, since January, basically.
Yeah. He's week. Let's see, where's the line of kind of where he figured it out? I'm looking at his week by week. I'd say it was probably kind of
December.
Yeah, here we go. First half he averaged 231. Second half he's averaging 237.
So he would have to have figured it out in November, because he was not doing that great up until, I don't know, Thanksgiving maybe, or
Thanksgiving was like week 14, week 15.
Yeah, the couple months to start the season, it was a little up and down, but the last several months he's been one of the toughest outs in the league.
Through 10 weeks he was 225.87.
So yeah, I mean they bowled. So yeah, if we could get their what they pre-bowled against us, we could get that out of them.
That would be awesome.
I like our chances.
I'm not holding my breath for that to happen. Which
I am definitely.
That is, that's. Oh, nice, John. Saw your message about the Emerald. Yeah, that is a good point, and that's something that kind of changes this matchup a little bit for us. Is this is our first time actually bowling against them this year. It feels really weird to say, because we honestly dodged a huge bullet having to bowl them on 17 and 18 in the first half. They ended up, I forget why they pre-bowled, but they team pre-bowled for that week, and we showed up and we're just done instantly. So yeah, that was dodging that. I think was helpful. Might just be a white balance thing or something.
Yeah, no, it's just a lighting thing. I could probably close the window over there. Plus, I've got the white blaring in my face. So yeah.
Also, we're kind of in a landlocked state. We don't really have this thing called beaches. Like
we don't have beaches. We're literally a couple hours away from the dead center of the United States. So
yeah, pretty much. So we are the closest beach might be on the Mississippi River, actually. Anyways, looking back at last week, you were out. I know you were just kind of feeling a little under the weather. So I just fill in the rest of it. It was honestly, aside from John John Hardman having a really tough game 3, the mids just went away, and he was making decent shots. It just everything he tried didn't work for 167. Like aside from that, it really felt like about like kind of the really consistent tough out type of performance. Excuse me, from Zach's team that I would have expected. Jaden bowled. She threw it. Like she was executing well, and she just had complete air for the first 2 games, and then just changed zones a little bit and ground out 217 game 3. But it was just like I think she doubled once in the first 2 games or something like that. So and then Noah bowled well. He kind of had a little bit of the same thing as John game 3, but managed to hang on and kind of cover that off for the win. And then I threw my theorem all 3 games. I felt a little bad, and I was talking with Zach about this because we practiced together on Monday, I think. So it was like I beat him by 100, but I didn't beat him by 100. It was kind of the same deal as I don't know if you saw Marshall Kent's interview after he made the was it the Cheetah Show this week at the World Series. Was like, yes, I won my matches, but I feel like I got a little bit lucky, and that was kind of what it felt like for me, honestly. Like I managed to have really, really good ball reaction, and like the 236 was just 2 stupid shots and 10 strikes. So I don't know. I felt a little bad because it was like I didn't feel like I deserved to win my match by that much for sure. But just gotta kind of like, especially against Zach. Like Zach's a good dude. We both doubles together when we can and practice together because he lives in Lawrence. So, yeah, it was. I don't think anybody. Excuse me. I don't think anybody realized how close the team total was until the recap screen came up.
Yeah, until it was over.
I know for a fact. I know I had absolutely no clue. And then it comes up, and I went front 4-pin cheat game 3. I was like, if I miss on any of those, we lose team set, and that's just a totally different. That gets us down to what? If I miss one more time, we're looking at 15 instead of 22.
Yeah,
or 14 instead of 22. So definitely like 22-10 doesn't feel that close, but it actually was a really, really close match.
Yeah, because one shot was, I mean, the last game and series.
Yeah.
So that could have been a pretty big swing there, and they were up. I know that's not what they wanted to have happen. The last, getting down to it, the last couple weeks of the season here, but it's fortunate for us, and I will be there tonight. I think we'll have a full team tonight. Yep. I don't think anybody's going to be gone for Trevor either that I know of.
Yeah, I know because I saw Eric. I was subbing at Olathe on Tuesday, and I know he's going to be there. I'm assuming Trevor's going to be there. And
yeah,
saw Brent last week, and he made no indication of not being here tonight. So.
So yeah, I don't think that there's any reason to change any lineups here because you've got, I think, just as good of a look against either of them, and I'm going to be in the same situation against either of them. So
yeah, exactly.
One.
Go ahead. Sorry.
The one kind of wrench in here is that you bowled with Brent last year, and he's typically inside of you, and it crossing your track twice, and so that makes things kind of interesting from your perspective. But Jaden plays straighter, Noah plays straighter, Adam kind of puts it down the side, and then there's 3 lefties, and so really, aside from Brent, I think it was just Brent in combination with other righties.
Yeah.
Might have been the thing, but there's going to be 3 bowlers that are completely in a completely different zone. Yes. And then 3 lefties. And so it's basically you and Brent.
There is another piece to this puzzle, though, and that is that Brent has drilled some swag balls so you can play a right of 18 at the arrows now. I am being 100% serious, by the way.
Touche.
Like that is like I am. I know I love to take my shots at the California bowling umbrella from time to time. This is a genuine statement. He's drilled swag balls. They don't hook a lot, but he still gets them through the pins all right. And he's actually been like when he shot 570 his first 2, it was with a swag ball. So it seems to actually be working okay with him. I know he did pretty well in double singles at Ozarks and through swag stuff for at least some of that. So fingers crossed is if he throws swag stuff, I think that's going to make my life a lot easier because that means he's not going to be really far to the left. So please, Brent, if you're watching this, pretty please throw swag stuff. But it's a fun group of guys to bowl against. They don't hook a lot down lane, John. It's a fun group of guys to bowl against. It's definitely going to be a tough match. I think this is going to be one of our tougher matches of the second half, honestly.
Yeah, I was kind of bummed that we didn't get to actually bowl against them the first half, but after seeing their pre-bowl scores, I was completely okay. I was completely fine with it.
No, same.
So yeah, this is the thing is where I don't necessarily want to get all serious and whatever, but at the same time, sometimes, especially towards the end of the year, it's kind of like, okay, it's just 1 week after another. It's like I'm ready to be done, whatever else. This one's one that we just need to pay attention. We don't need to get serious. We just need to pay attention, because if we have a good night, we could set ourselves up, and if we have a bad night, we could be right back down at 11th.
Yeah,
because we've got it's so stacked up behind us that this, I mean, it could, depending on how tonight goes, it could wildly affect our final placement in this half.
Oh yeah, no. If we take 4, 11th, maybe even 12th, depending on how Johnny does. Who's Johnny you got tonight? 17-3, Rob. Okay, yeah. Yeah, it could kind of a lot of different outcomes here, like you said. You know, if we have a huge night tonight, that could easily get us to like. There's a path that we could go around. Let's see. Tennyson has Russ's team.
Mm-hmm.
That's going to be a tough out for. That's going to be. I think that's going to be a really close match, actually. Like I pencil that in for like a 18-14 type deal, almost. Something in that range. Crouch has 7-18. Blind. Crouch has Bow. And they're on 5 and 6. So it's yeah. Lots of ways this could go, and there's just so many moving pieces, and everything is so close that a couple points go different, and it's a drastically different outcome. So
yeah, so it's one of those things where I don't think it really matters too much what happens next week. It just
somewhat, yeah. I mean, next week we need to take a decent chunk to hold position with wherever we end up.
Yeah, but if we have a bad week this week, we're going to be down in 11th and not going to be able to climb out of it. And if we have a good week this week, we should be able to withstand a mediocre week next week. But yeah, I mean, obviously we'd want to get all that we can get.
Yes,
and
for sure.
I don't really wish ill on anybody. I'd rather just out bowl them. I don't want them to bowl poorly, but it's going to take.
If it takes them bowling poorly, then sorry, guys.
Yeah. But what are we on? 9 and 10?
No, we're on 13
okay.
13 and 14 tonight. We had 9 and 10 last week.
Okay.
So we got 13 and 14 against Trevor, and then 15 and 16 against Russ.
13 and 14 is a weird one.
Yeah, it's
not as bad as it used to be.
Yeah, 13 through 16 have both been a little weird on the right side all year. Which, quick, can you highlight that comment from Justin in the chat? Justin, I am not going to be streaming it. I'm actually going to be recording it on my phone, and then I'll be posting it to YouTube, hopefully by the weekend over on my channel. So this is one where I'm actually going to record it and then upload later, and just for the higher quality and a little bit more production value. But I will have the mics so Luke and I can like kind of talk a little bit about what we're seeing. I think it'll be a really interesting exercise on both sides of the lane, because it's definitely a little bit different flavor of a match in terms of bowler profiles than what we normally see. So, yeah, 13 and 14 tonight. We've had some good matches on this pair in the past. I didn't have a chance to pull up the like match history on each pair. When were we on this previously? 13 and 14. Interesting. This is our first time on this pair in the second half. So this is the pair we only catch once this half. Week 4, 13 and 14 was when I shot 8-11, I think, and we bowled Tennyson's team. And then we had Russ's team in week 17 on this pair. And I think both of those pretty handily. So I think it feels like a little bit of a plus matchup for us. But at the same time, I'm not blind to the talent and potential on the other side for them to shoot like 28-50 at us.
Yeah, yeah, that's just the thing is if they're firing on all cylinders, I almost think, I mean, you'll be able to catch up to them, but if Eric and Trevor are both scoring, even if I'm scoring, I'm probably not going to be in their territory. Yeah. And when Adam Riley gets going,
Yeah, that's the thing is Adam's one of those really scary like two-team guys. Like I think of him in a similar sense to like Warren Elliott almost, where he's a two-team that could genuinely shoot 780 at a moment's notice type of deal.
Yeah, I think that if they're all clicking, if all of us were all clicking, I think their ceiling's a little bit higher than ours is. Honestly, if I'm being perfectly honest. Because Eric and Trevor could both shoot 800, Adam could shoot 750, and Brent had 570 something a couple weeks going in.
Yeah, exactly.
Even if you shoot 800, I could go for 750. Noah could go for 750. Jaden could get to 720 or 750, but I just did. Eric and Trevor could both shoot 820 at the same time, and I don't think I've got that in the cards this month or this season anyway.
I mean, with that attitude, you're correct. So
yeah.
I mean, look, I'm just saying, if we're gonna pick a night for you to get your affairs in order and shoot 800.
Yeah, to get my first 800.
Please let this be the night, please. Oof. Oh,
talking about Buck.
Yeah, no, it'll be a fun time, and like I said, the recording will be up. I'll try to get it done this weekend, so it just kind of depends on when I have time to sit down and spend a little bit of time to get it all put together. So, equipment wise, what are you thinking this week, Luke? Anything changing for you?
I don't think so. The Theorem is going, the Beyond Infinity is going, the GB5 is going, and the Covert Revolt is probably going. I had a thought to take the Covert out and put like the Endeavor in case I do need to get something to push a little bit more. But I think the Theorem will be just because the Endeavor's a little, I almost think that if I'm using that, I don't want to be like super deep using that. I want to be my angles a little bit straighter. So I think that I can get the Beyond back from just about anywhere. And the Theorem does have the GB5 doesn't really like getting super deep.
Yeah, the GB5 for you is kind of like what the optimum is going to be for me. Of just kind of like a fade the middle, round, rolly type of ball.
Yeah. So if I need to control the back ends a little bit more, that'll work. If I do need to get deeper, I've got the stuff to get deeper.
If you need to get deeper, that's just throw your Theorem and check out. Let's be real.
And see, that's the thing. So the Covert seems kind of redundant or unnecessary for what I might have to work with. Yeah. I guess the mic's been, I forgot to move the mic, but
that sounded good. Hey, what's up, John?
The Covert seems kind of redundant. And so I was thinking, okay, stick something else in there just in case. I'm just not sure that anything, if it's not the Theorem, the Beyond, or the GB5, I'm just not going to be in contention.
Yeah.
So I just don't.
Just put some, put a bag of Chex Mix in there. Call it good.
Yeah. Yeah. Just put something else in there because I'm just not sure, even if it's just going to be in the bag to weigh it down. Yeah. Really, I might put like the Ultimate Defender in instead because it's kind of a play off the Beyond. If the Beyond's close, but it's a little sharp, but the Theorem's a little clean, the Ultimate would kind of fit in there. But I think the Covert is kind of a nice play off the GB5 too. If the GB5's a little early.
Yeah, I was going to say that, especially knowing our John, our last week of scheduled competition is next Thursday, and then week after that is payout plus roll off / sweeper night. So, which probably won't be a roll off if I had to guess, but whatever.
Yes, especially if it's Rob. Well, if it's Rob or Kreitzer's team,
yeah,
I just don't think so. I think Trevor's team might want to bowl. They might want to bowl just for the fun of it.
Yeah.
And I might be down to do that. I just don't. Kreitzer's team is going to whatever. We'll split it, and then I think that Rob would be the same way. It's like whatever.
Rob's pretty like Rob is competitive, but he also kind of understands the context of it. Like he's like it's just league, man.
Yeah, we could either it's again. I've said this before, but it's basically bowling a whole nother set 3 hours for an extra $25 a person.
Let's go.
And we're going to get, I would expect our
money.
team to all get $1,000 a piece. And so I'm not going to spend 3 more hours when I could just pay $25 for that extra, that the sweeper.
Yeah.
Bowl 3 games, eat some pizza, bowl 3 games, have some fun and go home. I don't want to.
Yeah.
If somebody said, hey, let's bowl for it, I would say that's okay. I would even just take the whole $50. I just don't want to.
Yeah.
It's worth $25 to me to not have to bowl for another 3 hours.
Yeah, exactly. No Outer Limits Pearl too chuggy, perhaps. I don't think
It's just
really,
too much ball. It's in the realm of the Beyond. It's just more ball than the Beyond.
It looks like almost a huge archetype hybrid to me.
It's just not throwable for me. And the archetype hybrid wasn't throwable for me. And the Outer Limits Pearl is a Beyond Infinity shaping archetype hybrid. So
yeah, that sounds pretty unthrowable for
it's just not.
Yeah.
Not in the realm of reasonable outcomes.
Yeah, no, that makes sense. Yeah, for myself, I really don't see much of a way that anything changes. It's just going to be the same bag for me, but I could walk in with one roller and probably be fine.
Mm-hmm.
NV Tour and Theorem have been doing literally all the work for like a month and a half now. That's my plan. And if they don't hook enough, then I'll have my 3.0 or maybe my Extreme Envy. I haven't decided yet. Probably the 3.0 though. And then if everything hooks too much, I'll have a Hustle Camo with me, and then I'll have a plastic ball. So,
yeah, I would say the
super
same
boring,
thing.
super basic.
I could probably walk in with the Theorem and the GB5 and my spare ball and make it work just as well as adding something else into the mix.
Yeah. Ooh, Eternity Pie Venom Shock Parallax. If you like stuff that just kind of splashes pins around, that's a really good 3-ball set. Like, that's really good. Dang. I like it. Well, I don't really have a whole lot else to say. I need to make sure my mics and stuff are charged up so we can do the it's not about the money, it's about sending a message. I like that. Yeah, I don't really have a whole lot else to say. I know we'll have the recording of this stream up on my channel later this week. Let me see. Is that right? Yes, it is. Let me drop a link to my channel in the chat. There is that. And yeah, otherwise, I'm good if you're good.
Yeah, I think we just need to show up tonight.
I'm good if you're good, and hopefully we're good tonight.
Yeah.
So, decent way to summarize it. But,
yep. So yeah, we'll be back next Thursday at same time. I would imagine. I don't have anything on. I have a haircut next week, but I don't know what. I can't remember what time it's at. So
we'll figure it out.
We will see. But yeah, next week will be the last week, and in that show we will have a season recap and kind of a brief look at.
Season. Do we want to do one more after week 34? Though?
I would probably say because that way we'll have the final list and we'll be able to see at least who we think are going to be captains because there's always. So we know that Johnny and Trevor aren't coming back, but there might be some other people that aren't coming back either that we just don't know about right now.
Yeah.
So that could be a thing, but it's something to talk about, just a season recap. And again, I have no problem divulging the amount of money that we're going to get. I mean, we finished first in the first half and we paid in $30 a week. And so if anybody else is interested in this kind of league structure, it might be.
I'll try to grab a picture of like the payout sheet and maybe we can talk through that a little bit on the stream.
Yeah, we'll have. I mean, yeah, they just hand us out payout sheets, and so I don't really know. It's all.
Yeah, it's not a secret.
Yeah,
but I mean, even like getting it scanned in so we can have it on screen and talk through it a little bit might be pretty fun. So,
yeah.
Just to kind of because like the economics of a pretty substantial money league like this are kind of interesting to think through.
Yeah, and then we can kind of preview going into next year and talk about a few draft strategies and whatever else, and then we can probably have a show on the day of the draft going into it, because then we'll have the final list of who's going to be a captain, who's on the draft board, strategies, whatever else. So
yeah, and I'll be able to figure out how to snipe you in the draft.
we're so far apart that I don't think that there's not going to be any real.
Oh, I'll find a way.
Yeah,
I'll find a way.
Yeah,
just to troll you.
So, all right, thanks everybody. Yeah, James will have at least he'll have something up on his channel at some point.
Yeah,
and we'll see about this time next week.
I'll try to have it up by Monday at the absolute latest.
Okay.
Yeah. Thank you all.